The Jacksonville Jaguars are a football team that has been starving of all pro level talent. You want to think about the last time the Jaguars had a first team all pro player? They actually had two of them in the same year. Jalen Ramsey and Calais Campbell both made the first team all pro list in 2017. Since then, I believe they've had a couple second team all pros, but I've talked to some former players and they said they don't care about second team all pro. They don't give a damn about second team all pro. They want first or don't call me about an all pro list. The Jaguars have some talent on this roster. They really do. It's weird to say that they're a 4-win team in 2 years, but they have talent. And, this free agency class that Doug Pederson and Trent Baalke just brought in, I absolutely think it's a huge influx of talent, and I think the Jaguars are going to be a lot better for it. Let me know down in the comments if you guys think there's going to be a Jaguar that makes an all-pro list this year, or maybe you don't think any of them are going to make it. Maybe you think they're going to go, 3-14 again. Hey, let me know down there as well. I'd love to hear you guys. And wait, while you're down there, drop subscribe on your boy. I'd appreciate it, all right? Tyson Campbell truly turned it on in the later half of 2021. My goodness. When you want to talk about people we didn't see coming, there was people writing off Tyson Campbell like they were writing off Caleb Vaughn, writing off CJ Henderson. They were immediately lumping him into that group from his week 1 to week 10 performance. Yes, he struggled finding the ball. But you know what he didn't struggle with? He never struggled with being in position to make the play. That was one beautiful thing that I loved about Tyson Campbell. He had no problem being in position. He did struggle with the ball skills, like I said. He had no interceptions and 4 passes defended through week 10, and then just something happened in week 11 where the world opened up to him. He could see clearly and turned into a player that Jaguar fans are going to look at next year to have a massive jump going forward. Overall, you're talking about a player that allowed 3 catches a game, and that is with his bad performance week 1 through 10. So the stats are a little bit skewed when you look at his overall production because of that really poor performance in the first half of the year. But man, if he can learn something from Darius Williams, from Shaq Griffin, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a AJ Terrell type year 2 for Tyson Campbell. I absolutely love him. I'm very excited to see what year 2 looks like for him. We talked about some free agent acquisitions. Foye Oluokun, man, he is a baller. He is somebody that has played with the green dot on their helmet, which Jacksonville has been starving for a long time. He's played both weak side and middle linebacker. And, with the departure of Myles Jack, I think there's a possibility he could be asked to kind of play a hybrid role between the two of them. A lot of defenses now are going to that 4-2-5 setup with the offenses kind of mimicking the college game of going to the spread. So I would love to see Oluokun in that kind of hybrid role, really able to fly around, because that's what he does best. He really goes over the top. Whenever you look at him, he led the league in tackles last year, 192 tackles. Almost 200 tackles in 17 games. That's nuts. And on top of that, he's also someone that can get after the quarterback. He is someone that had 2 sacks and 7 quarterback hits. Now, he has an incredible opportunity to work with former inside linebackers coach from the Buccaneers, Mike Caldwell. He's now the defensive coordinator, and I think there's a lot to be learned from Caldwell. When you look at Tampa Bay's defense, especially that front 7, who jumps off the page? Jason Pierre-Paul with his 7.5 fingers do. But you look at the linebackers, Levante David and Devin White, they balled. They're just ballers, and I'm very excited to see what Caldwell can do with Oluokun, Shaq Quarterman, all of these different linebackers the Jaguars have. And if 192 tackles wasn't enough to get it done for a first-team All-Pro, I absolutely think going forward, a follow-up year of another 185-plus tackle year and throwing a couple sacks. Because, hell, even Damian Wilson had a couple sacks last year, and that guy was, no sense of the word, a pass rusher. So, if he can do that again, absolutely sign the check, put him in. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Oluokun makes the All-Pro team. If you asked me to look at this 2021 roster going into 2022 and ask me to find a dark horse candidate that could potentially make the All-Pro team, one name jumps out at me, especially considering where the Jaguars are looking like they're going to go in the draft. It is Josh Allen. Think back to his Pro Bowl year in 2019. He had a great pass rusher opposite of him, Calais Campbell. Now, with all signs and mocks pointing the Jaguars going in the way of Aiden Hutchinson, pass rusher from Michigan, he could absolutely be the one to detract that attention from Josh Allen. Now, that could go the exact opposite way. Hutchinson could be the beneficiary of Allen drawing the attention. But hey, we're going to go with who's on the team right now. That makes a lot of sense, right? The 24-year-old pass rusher from Kentucky did have good stats in 2021. Obviously, stats don't tell the whole story. He totaled 7.5 sacks, 33 quarterback hurries, and 50 total pressures, courtesy of Pro Football Focus. But he did disappear at times during the year, and it was big chunks of time. It wasn't like where the hell was Josh Allen at that game? It was like, where the hell has Josh Allen been this month? That's a massive thing he's going to have to overcome. Now, despite the fact that, Allen really did disappear at times during a couple games, if he can stack a couple of performances like he did against the Buffalo Bills, if he can have that crazy, where he's sacking, he's getting forced fumbles, and he's also getting interceptions. I'm not saying it has to be that crazy, but if you can get a game where you have 2 sacks and a forced fumble, if you can have a game where you get a sack and an interception, just an interception, the national media is going to eat that up. If, he really wins over the eyes of the national media, and at the same time, if he does that, he will win over the All-Pro committee. Like I said, he's a dark horse. I really don't expect that kind of performance out of him, but if I had to look at the roster and give one dark horse, Josh Allen is absolutely that player. Now, it's the only former All-Pro on my list today. It's right guard Brandon Scherff. If it hadn't been for injuries, he is a perennial Pro Bowler, which he already kind of is, and he is just a mauler at the guard position. He only allowed 1 quarterback hit in all of 2020, and that is on top of his incredible run blocking. He is just a mean man, and I am excited to see him bully dudes in 2022, protecting the golden child in Trevor Lawrence. Now, he hasn't played a full season since 2016, when he was awarded with his first of 5 Pro Bowl appearances. He made the All-Pro list just a couple years ago, but he has been a perennial Pro Bowl player. And whenever you can add that sort of talent to a roster, I absolutely think you have good things coming to you. Those are my guys right there. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts, like I said earlier, down in the comment section below. Who do you guys think has a possibility to make the All-Pro team in 2022? If you guys did enjoy the video and you want more Fan Cave content, who doesn't want more Fan Cave content? Then head over to jagsfancave.com. I started writing articles, and if you'd love to read my articles as well, it's some more exclusive content that is that's not featured on the YouTube channel, but there's some incredible articles on there for you guys to check out as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe and go Jaguars.
How about them Jags?